So in previous class, lecture 19, we have discussed some numericals in 19, 18, 17, a few models in the previous year, January 2020. Now let us see what is meter bridge. Meter bridge. So let's take it as A. This is B, this is C, and this is D. This is galvanometer. This is air resistance of A plus key K. This is R. This is S. Unknown resistance, unknown and unknown resistance. So a meter bridge is a extension version of Wheatstone bridge. It is a extension version of or application of we can say Wheatstone bridge, meter bridge. It consists of a wire AC of 1 meter length, that is equals to 100 centimeters. It consists of a wire of 1 meter length, that is 100 centimeters. It consists of two gaps R and S. This is one gap 1, this is gap 2. This wire is fixed between two metallic copper strips. This is a copper strip, this is a copper strip. The wire is fixed between two copper strips. Okay, this copper strip, this is a copper strip, and this is gap 1, this is gap 2. In gap 1, a resistance, unknown resistance is to be placed, unknown resistance R is to be placed, and in the another gap, known gap, a known resistance S is placed. R and S are two resistors connected by a copper strips. Now this is a wire of 1 meter length to which a battery and a plug key K were connected. Battery E and plug key K were connected. Now between the junction of these two resistors, a high resistance, a galvanometer and a jockey J. J is called as jockey. Jockey which is having a knife edge. A jockey is having a knife edge which can run down this 1 meter wire. So the wire is placed on a meter scale because we measure the length. Therefore, the wire is placed on a meter scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100 centimeters. The wire is placed on a meter scale because the wire length is 1 meter. It is placed on a meter scale. Okay. Now, here gap 1 unknown resistance, gap 2 known resistance. Between B and the wire, any length of the wire, a high resistance, a galvanometer and a jockey J were connected. Okay, the jockey J consists of a knife edge, thin knife edge, which can, this jockey is run down on this meter wire to get the balancing length. To get the balancing length, we can run the jockey. Now, if R is the, lambda is equals to the resistance per unit length of the wire. Resistance per unit length of the wire. Lambda is the resistance per unit length of the wire. Then the resistance for the portion of the length L is, then the resistance for the portion of the length L is, portion of length L is, what is the resistance now? Lambda into L, that is equals to lambda L. So this is the lambda is the resistance per unit length. The cost of one fruit is, let us say 10 rupees. And the cost of 10 fruits is, or 6 fruits is 10 into 6, that's 60 rupees. Like that, it is the lambda is the resistance per unit length. Resistance per unit length. The cost of one fruit, 10 rupees. Then what is the resistance for the length L? Then what is the cost of 6 fruits? 10 into 6, 60 rupees. Like that, we can take the resistance for the portion of the length L is lambda into L. This is ohm per, this is resistance per unit length means ohm per centimeter. Ohm per centimeter into centimeter gives ohms. Therefore, the resistance RAD is equals to lambda L ohms. RAD is equals to lambda L ohms. So this is the 1 meter wire, and as the length is L here, the remaining portion length DC is 100 minus L. Then what is the resistance for that length? RDC is equals to lambda into length of that portion of wire DC, 100 minus L ohms. 100 minus L ohms. So this is RAD and RDC, and resistance RAB is equals to, resistance between RAB is equals to, this is RAB. RAB is equals to R known, this is known, and resistance RBC is equals to, S. So this is unknown, sorry, this is unknown and this is known. Now if you look at this one, if we can adjust this like this, this is R, this is S, this is S, this is R, this is RAD, this is RDC, this is RDC, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. Now between B and D, what we have? Between B and D we are having a galvanometer. Between B and D we are having a galvanometer. Between A and C we are having a battery. Therefore this is like a Wheatstone bridge. This is like a Wheatstone bridge with resistors RS, RAD and RDC. This is like a Wheatstone bridge. We can imagine this as a Wheatstone bridge with resistors RS, RAD and RDC. What is the use of high resistance? It protects the galvanometer. High resistance protects the galvanometer, avoiding high currents to pass through the galvanometer. Okay. Now from this what we have? R by S is equals to, by the principle of balancing, from the principle of Wheatstone bridge, R by S is equals to RAD by RDC, balancing length. Condition for balancing of Wheatstone bridge. R by S is equals to P by Q is equal to R by S, just like that. R by S is equals to RAD by RDC. Now, after adjusting all this one, run down the jockey from A. After adjusting all this circuit, now run the jockey from A. So if you put the jockey here, galvanometer to deflection one side, galvanometer. If you put the jockey at A, put the jockey at C, then galvanometer deflection on the other side. Now if you run the jockey from A to C, like this, then what happens? At some point galvanometer shows zero deflection. Where the galvanometer shows deflection, that indicates that current is zero. Therefore, then the bridge is balanced. The current through the galvanometer is zero, then the bridge is said to be balanced. Therefore, here now after adjusting this one, place an unknown resistance, place a known resistance, and connect the circuit with the jockey, galvanometer, high resistance, battery, and key. Now run down the jockey from A to C. At some point D, you will get 0. The galvanometer shows from 0 to, from this end to that end. In middle we are having 0 point, 0 to some 30, 0 to some 30 here. Therefore, at some point you will get galvanometer shows zero deflection. At that point, the current through the galvanometer is zero. In such a case, the bridge is said to be balanced. Let at the length, for the length L, it shows zero deflection. For the length L, it shows, if you run this one, for the length L, it shows zero deflection. Then what happens? R by S is equals to RAD by RDC. That implies R by S is equals to, what is RAD? Lambda into L. What is RDC? Lambda into 100 minus L. This gets cancelled. This implies R by S is equals to L by 100 minus L. R by S is equals to R by S is equals to L by 100 minus L. So this is the unknown resistance. Unknown resistance R is equals to L by 100 minus L into S. So this is the expression for unknown resistance. This is the expression for the unknown resistance R. Now it is used to calculate small resistances and also to compare the resistances Now what is a small point here is if the resistance in the left gap, increases, what happens? Very important points. Very important point. If the resistance in the left gap increases, then what happens? If the resistance in the left gap increases, what happens? As R proportional to L, RAD, this is the left gap, RAD lambda into L. So if the resistance in the left gap increases, R proportional to lambda L, therefore R proportional to L. If the resistance increases, what happens? The balancing length shift towards right. If the resistance in the left gap increases, resistance in the left gap increases, then balancing length shifts towards right. Or resistance S in the right gap decreases then also balancing shift towards right only. Because R proportional to length only, if the resistance increases, that length also increases. Therefore length increases means initially if it is 50, then it becomes maybe 60, then balancing length increases. So if length increases, then this length will be decreasing. Therefore if the resistance in the left gap increases, then the balancing length shifts towards right. Or we can also say if the resistance in the right gap decreases, then also the balancing length shift towards right only. So this is the first inference. Now if you place a conductor, then what happens? If you place a metallic conductor, so in left gap, very important one, this is very important one, if in left gap place a metallic conductor. So for metallic conductor, what happens? If resistance temperature increases, then what happens? If the temperature increases, then and it gets heated. If it is placed and heated, in the left gap a metallic conductor is placed and heated, then what happens? Temperature increases means for a conductor, temperature increases, conductivity decreases. Therefore resistance or resistivity increases. Therefore if the metallic conductor is placed in the left gap and heated, then what happens? So temperature increases means for metallic conductors resistivity, conductivity decreases and resistance increases. For conductors temperature increases, resistance increases. The resistance increases means what happens? So balancing length increases, balancing length also increases, therefore it shifts towards right. Now instead of metallic conductor, we place semiconductor. If you place a semiconductor there, instead of metallic conductor, if you place a semiconductor in the left gap, remember carefully, very important thing, this is important, left gap. If a semiconductor is placed in the left gap, for a semiconductor, temperature increases, conductivity increases, therefore resistance decreases. Resistivity or resistance decreases, therefore balancing length shifts towards left. Balancing length shifts towards left, therefore balancing length decreases. Balancing length gets decreases. Balancing length decreases. Therefore, for metallic conductor, as temperature increases, then resistivity increases. Therefore, balancing length shift towards right. Now, for a semiconductor, if the temperature increases, then what happens? Resistivity decreases. Therefore, the balancing length shift towards left side. Therefore, length gets decreases. This is something about meter bridge. Okay. Thank you.